Hi all, my name is Christy. I come from a small town in Minnesota, just south of the cities, called New Prague, not New Prague, New Prague. It's a small Czechoslovakian town, farming community. I have two kids, Oliver, who is 2.5, and Aubrey, who is 7 months old, and then Ava, our dog, who is 9.5. We got her when she was just a puppy. We rescued her from a local humane society, and we now foster dogs every once in a while through Protecting Paws Animal Rescue. If you ever need a somewhat easy but very fulfilling volunteer gig, fostering dogs is the way to go. It does take up some of your time. A lot of times you have to take them to appointments, potty train them, just train them in general, but it's very rewarding, especially when they snuggle up to you and they accept your family. And everyone says that it's hard to give them up at the end. It is, but knowing that they're going to the right family is very rewarding. Anyways, back to me. We have a little house here in New Prague. My husband, Chris, works for Pepsi. He delivers with Pepsi. So that's what he does. That's how I'm able to stay home. I made the choice to stay home right before my second child, Aubrey, was born. I worked for a chiropractor in Prior Lake, which is where we are from originally. It's about 15 miles north of us. And that was a pretty hard decision to do. I had been at that company close to 8 years. It was a chiropractic wellness company, and I did a lot of the backroom insurance stuff. And I got to be around adults. Now I'm home with the kids and the dog all the time, and I go just a little bit crazy. Which is why I'm thinking of starting this channel. If it doesn't go anywhere, that's fine. I can just come in and rant about my life and things going on. My best friend, who I haven't really been apart from for longer than a few months at a time, when she lived in North Carolina after she got married 8.5 years ago. I haven't been apart from her for a while, but now she's deploying. She's in the Navy. I'm very proud of her. She's deploying to Africa for a year. That's going to be hard. That's going to be a struggle. She's my lifeline. She's like the sister I got to choose. I do have two sisters. My older sister lives in Juneau, Alaska with her husband. No, they didn't just randomly move to Juneau, Alaska. He got a job with the DOT back in 2010, and they moved up there. They are expecting their first child any day now. Like, she's due on Saturday. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, so she's due in 2 days. And then I have a little sister, Teresa, who lives in Milwaukee with her bunny, Lucy. She is a graduate student there at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee for meteorology. And she's also a teacher's assistant, which is pretty amazing for her. She's very introverted. I love her a lot, but she's very introverted. For her to be able to stand up and talk to someone that she would consider her peers or younger than her is pretty impressive. I would find that difficult for me to do as well. So my hobbies include keeping my children alive, eating, reading, I guess. I like to write about things going on in my life. I like to read historical fiction a lot of times, or about places I can go visit. I like to mess around on my phone. I love to take pictures. I love to take pictures of my kids because they're so stinking cute, and I'm never going to get that moment back again. But with a picture, I can go back and remember it. I like to do theater. I was really big into theater in high school, middle school and high school. I did a lot of shows. And I was active in the Prior Lake Players, which is a community theater group in Prior Lake. I was active with them in elementary school and a little bit in high school. Fun fact, that's actually where I met my husband during the Prior Lake Players Wizard of Oz. He was stage manager and I was in the ensemble. I was still in high school. We did not begin our romance until I was 18. So don't worry, it was legal. Yeah, and then I took a break after high school. Like, the right show just never came along, so I didn't make time for it. And with work, I always seem to put work first. which now looking back was silly of me. There was plenty of things I could have done. But I got back into shows last spring when I was pregnant, and I was Lily St. Regis in Annie, which, if you're aware of that show at all, she's the ditzy blonde villain. I feel like I may have been typecast a few times in my life. I enjoyed it very much. I wasn't able to be a part of the last two shows. The last one was because auditions were when I was due, and then trying to juggle a brand new baby and going to rehearsals would have been really difficult. So I did not do that, but I went to see it instead, and it was phenomenal. I would have been very proud to have been a part of that show. And then this last one they did was Seussical, and we actually went on a trip to New York when they were having auditions, and then it was like everything went wrong. The weather was awful. They ended up having to cancel so many rehearsals. We were sick at our house. There was just my husband got injured, and so he was home and off work, and just a lot going on. The kids were sick, and we ended up having to go to Milwaukee for a funeral. So it wouldn't have been a great experience trying to throw a show in there as well. So I'm again disappointed I didn't get to be a part of it, but I'm glad I went to go see it, which is always fun. I always say support your local theater, and I know there's some in New Prague. I've just never heard about any of their shows, so I've never been able to go see them. I should really make a point to do that. And then maybe I'll audition for them, because New Prague's a lot closer than Prague Lake. I think that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm sure I'll update again soon, but if you watched this, thanks for sticking around for 7 minutes and watching me ramble. Have a wonderful Thursday.